The NonStop Radio Show.
Non-stop hip-hop.
The hottest underground hip-hop and R&B show on this side of the net.
Goddamn, want a Hellcat? Tryna figure how to get that. Working hard ain't a setback. It ain't no cap and ain't no snapback. Switching lanes, I'll be right back. Tryna make a flight. I just wanna love, I don't really wanna fight. I just wanna talk and I got a lot to say. No, I'm coming really far, but I still got a long way. Eyes closing when the sun coming up. Ain't no liquor in my cup, get it swerving and it's making me sleepy. Pulled over twice, same 24 hours. Same damn cop, got me stressing, I ain't sleeping, man. To the court cases, here I come. Little nervous, can you wish me luck? Like damn. All I know is that I can't give up. Tryna make it, but it will get tough, I'm saying. It's a struggle, staying focused. Disappear like hocus pocus. I'm not playing and you know this. Ride real slow, don't wanna be noticed. Tryna live life like it is golden. Shout out to Jill. I'm just tryna keep it real, man. Like
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy EMillio EgBar. And I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into tonight's presentation as EJP Entertainment Presents the Artist Spotlight. You already know what it is. We at the point of our show where we are joined by tonight's special guest. But before we do so, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go follow us on IG at EJP_Entertainment to stay up to date with everything related to EJP. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the show. It's your boy EMillio EgBar, and I'm pleased to be here rocking out with each and every one of you. And I want to say thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to tune in here and rock out with us once again. And if you haven't done so yet, please make sure you are following us on IG at EJP_Entertainment to stay up to date with everything related to EJP Entertainment. And also for everybody out there that would like to check out the visual side of this platform, then you can do so by heading over to our YouTube channel, which is EJP Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos, and also hit that notification bell to stay alerted when we are dropping brand new content, which is damn near almost like every week. But you know what it is, ladies and gentlemen, we keeping it going over here. We keeping the hustle up and doing the things that we got to do to be able to make sure we get all that dope music and bring to you some of the best artists from all around the world. And here once again, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know we are back at the point of our show where we are now joined by our special guest. And this special guest once again is no stranger to this platform. If you recall, we had her on this platform back in December of 2022, and we had a very special conversation between the two of us. It felt like I got to know this young lady really well through that talk, and I'm pleased and honored to bring back once again to this platform the Miss Layna from out of the DMV doing her thing. Layna, how are you? And welcome back to the show. How you been?
Hey, what's good? I've been great. Thanks so much for having me.
You're absolutely welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. You know, I can't complain. You know, just one day at a time, just working as hard as I can to keep doing what I do to, you know, pursue my dreams and goals and all that good stuff. But how about yourself? How's everything been since the last time you and I, you know, linked up and talked?
For real, that sound like you. You know, just been nonstop grinding, just pushing, just trying to get out there. You know, same old.
I hear that. You definitely been working hard. Let me tell you, I've been paying attention to the things that you've been doing, you know, on, you know, your IG and everything like that. You know, that's the good thing about social media. It gives us a chance to keep tabs on some of our favorite individuals. And I definitely see that you've been working hard. You've been grinding in the studio. You've been doing a lot of traveling. You've been doing, you know, a whole lot of showcases. And as I recall right now, you're out on the West Coast doing your thing as well. So you definitely are making your rounds in this whole entire music industry. So how does it feel to you right now with everything that you've accomplished since the last time you've been on this platform?
I'm just extremely grateful, that I'm able to come so far, and that, I'm still climbing. It's been one heck of a journey. It's been enjoyable. It's been crazy. It's been just flat out like, what in the world? But overall, I'm very grateful for this journey. I'm very grateful for the support and the love that I've been shown, and my people, my family. So where I'm just grateful, and I'm just working, and I'm praying to God and counting my blessings.
I hear that. Definitely count your blessings, and I'm definitely, delighted once again to see you, making such progress. I can tell you, from the music that you've been putting out to just, just the overall presentation of everything you've been doing, I can definitely see the growth. I hear the growth, and it's a tremendous honor to be a part of that. I thank you once again for utilizing this platform and allowing us, to share your story here on our show and all that good stuff. So what takes you out to LA?
I'm actually in town for a conference, but just networking, getting out in front of different people, stuff like that.
I hear that. Has it been a different change of pace for you and everything like that? I mean, I can kind of hear the jet lag in your voice a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like you've been running around and, taking care of business as usual. So how's everything else going?
Pretty well. I had one heck of a start getting out here. My flight was canceled right when I was about to leave. Yeah, so I ain't really getting much sleep. I was running off fumes, but I'm pretty good now.
I hear that. Well, I was going to ask you early on, did you take the Hemi out there, to get yourself to LA and stuff like that? But you just answered the question. We had a chance to ask you and all that good stuff. So it's good that everything worked out with your flight. You're not having to worry about trying to rebook or reschedule your flight and everything. So I'm glad you was able to make it out there.
Yeah, it was slow. It was stressful, but God was definitely on our side, and we made it, and it all worked out. So I'm focusing on that.
And that's what's up. Now let me ask you, because I've never been to Cali, and I always hear, people say out there it's always sunny in California. Now, does that stand true right now with you being out there and being able to experience the weather?
Hell no. It has been nonstop raining since we landed, man. Every time we walk outside, it's rain. It's definitely a lot warmer, for the same temperature. It's not super warm. It's like late, high 50s, low 60s. And, that's pretty decent out here, but it's just been raining and raining and raining.
See, now I got
we still out here, No rain stopping nothing.
I hear that. See, now I gotta go find Tony Tone and put each and every one of them in a headlock, because that song, It Never Rains in Southern California. And I'm like, yo, it's not true now. You all know the truth. It rains in California.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I'm just joking. But that's still one of my favorite songs of all time. And speaking of music, I understand that you're back with some new music once again as well. You got a new single that you're here to promote that is called Throw It All Away. Looking at the cover art right now is very fascinating, really looking into it. If you don't really pay attention to everything that you see on the cover art, there's a lot of things you're going to miss, and there's a whole lot of different meanings behind it. So with this particular, record that you have and that you have, circulating, I understand that it dropped March 10th. What was the motivation behind, bringing this out, and what was the motivation for the cover art?
I think I just finally wanted to express what I've honestly been going through, pursuing music, my career. It's been a lot, and I have pretty bad anxiety. I'm afraid to talk to people and, that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to show people, like, yeah, we're out here making it look easy, and, like, we're tough and we got this, but this is really hard, and it's very emotionally taxing, especially me, because I'm highly sensitive and I like to feel everything. Mm-hmm. So I just want people to see, and for people who may be out there suffering with the same thing, I want them to see that it's okay. Like, people that you thought would never go through that stuff, they go through it really bad. It could be the complete opposite. So that was just a shout out to my people who are, who may have anxiety, who may be afraid, who may, deal with fear and stuff a lot, and it may get in the way of certain things that they may want out of life, because it can be paralyzing. It's not a small thing. So I just want people to say, like, that's me, sending a message like, nah, you throw that away. Like, it's not worth it. It's really not worth you. The worst thing, what's worse to me than that fear and that anxiety is regret. So you gotta get that out the way. You want to be able to say, I'm so glad I pushed myself and I didn't just give up and I didn't just fall into this. What I truly wanted never came into fruition because of that. And it's like, what? Because of fear? And it's like, that's no. Like, you're worth so much more than that. Well, your dream is worth so much more than that. So that's why I just wanted to. And it was a feel-good track. It was good for me, too. It's like my little anthem. I just have to think about it sometimes when I'm about to walk into this venue or interview, whatever, I'm just like, okay, and I just think of the song. It's so corny, but I'm like, nah, like I tell them, you tell yourself, like, throw it away. It's just not worth it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Now, just to give you a little heads up, off and on, like, it seems like your phone is going in and out. I don't know if it's the reception on my end or, reception on your end. But we're going to work through it, though. Don't worry about that and all that good stuff. But, I definitely understand. I definitely, resonate with what you're saying and everything, because when it comes down to it, you're right. That anxiety, especially when it comes to talking to people and it comes to, displaying your talents and doing, sharing the things that you're passionate about with so many people, and especially with music makes us as artists, more vulnerable than most people. So I understand the anxiety and how that can come about, especially when you're not used to being in a situation where you gotta go out there, you gotta shake hands, you gotta meet people, you gotta interact, you gotta socialize, and dealing with all these different energies, dealing with all these different personality types. It can be very stressful, it can be very tough. You're absolutely right about that.
Oh yeah, and like I was saying, like I feel everything, so it's like I'm not one of those people who can. I try, but I'm not one of those people who just they just shake it off. I was like, all right, whatever, it wasn't that serious. Like, but no, I really feel it. Like, if you got any kind of malice, any negativity, anything, I feel it real deeply. So I think that's probably what contributes to it. But yeah, I'm just working on getting thick skin. I'm getting there.
So, with that being said, let me ask you, you still scared to speak to me and all that stuff like that? Nah, I ain't gonna say scared, but you still get a little, like shy and everything with, talking to me and everything?
No, you're really dope. I fuck with you for real. It's just doing an interview. It's like, kind of on the spot per se, right. And I don't know why I run from that, because, being an artist, you kind of are the center of attention, with a lot of things. But that part is like, I'm okay with blending in, but it's okay. It's cool.
Yeah, I hear that.
No, you definitely make it easy. I will say that.
That's good. I'm glad, because I don't like to make nobody feel uncomfortable when they come onto the platform and all that stuff like that. So I always want to make sure that artists walk away from this platform feeling like it wasn't nothing where it's like they was put on a hot seat or made to talk about things that they didn't want to talk about. It's all about the music. It's all about getting to know the individuals that come on here, the reason behind their art. And also just being able to connect with them and being able to watch them grow musically throughout their whole entire careers. And like I said earlier, like it's been dope being able to sit back knowing that, I've had the opportunity to speak with you previously, and here we are back again, talking again, and we're, celebrating your growth, and we celebrating the progress you have made over the time. So it's like, with that being said, like, what has been the reaction that you've been getting since the last time that we've been on this platform together?
It's been very positive. Like, it's been like a big difference, especially with the release of this, with Throw It All Away. Like, I've been, people have just been reaching out to me like that. That song is so positive. Like, I really like this. Or like that makes me feel so good. It makes you feel like I'm doing something right. Because I'm not saying that no one didn't like my music before, but it's like now it's just I notice it's like, okay, like I've struck something. Like, it's like I'm in the right direction per se. So. That has been very, very motivating for me, and very, and that helps me a lot, especially with being so, afraid all the time. To me, it's a little embarrassing, but it's what it is. But that really does help. That really does. That's excellent motivation. All the support and stuff that I begin, like, it goes straight to my heart. It means so much to me.
That's what's up, and I'm happy for you, because like I said, you're one of those people that is very deserving of it. And like I said, like, I really do believe in the fact that what you're doing is something that is very much needed, especially with a lot of people being able to feel empowered enough to tackle the insecurities they may have about themselves. A lot of us, and a lot of people may not admit to it, but a lot of us deal with insecurities, and it's not just within the music industry, it's not within just the whole entire networking and stuff like that. But we all at particular times, have, some personal battles that we are fighting. Some people hide it a little bit better than others, but some people, they kind of like wear it on their sleeves. I'm like one of those type of people that wears it on their sleeve, so you can tell when I'm going through something. So, just the fact that you are out here in the world spreading a positive message in a era where it seems like everything is just negative, everything is just downtrodden, and everybody just want to attack everybody for being one of those ones that want to stand out and not be a part of the pack and everything like that. Your music is very empowering.
Right. Absolutely.
No doubt.
I totally agree.
No doubt about that. So with that being said and everything, you had a strong message also when I was looking over, the meaning behind the music and everything with this Throw It All Away. You made reference to some very interesting, statistics when it comes to mental wellness in this country and everything like that. And it was surprising to me to see some of the percentages that, just how much people really do deal with like anxiety and deal with, these kind of like disorders that when it comes to like their mental health.
Yeah, it was surprising for me when, doing research on it. I was like, wow, I knew a lot of people had it, but I didn't know this many people, And I think the thing with anxiety, it's such a stigma around it, not necessarily anxiety itself, but when you try to like get help for it, or, and go see like a medical professional or a therapist or anything like that, then you're like, oh, you're crazy, or, you're going to see a doctor for it, whatever. So I think that's, a lot of people may have it and they don't even realize they do, and they just try to hide it, or they do have it and they know they have it and they don't seek treatment before because they don't want to be judged. Mm-hmm. So that's a big reason why I'm like, no, that's okay. Like, why would you want to be out here not being your best self and, just doing all kind of crazy stuff? Like, if you need help, reach for it. That's there's millions of us out here. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's one of the biggest things, especially in the, the black community. A lot of people, they are afraid of the stigma that comes with seeking help when you're dealing with something, a mental, wellness issue, whatever the case may be. And it's like, that's one of the walls that we have to learn how to tear down, that it's okay to seek help when you're not feeling okay. Everybody be like, it's okay to not be okay. I don't necessarily agree with that 100%, because it's not okay to be okay, because it's like you're kind of empowering this person to keep their own personal struggles to themselves instead of seeking help for it. And then that person, it gets so bottled up within them that, it explodes into some other kind of form of outlet, and it caused, something bad to happen that person may not have done otherwise. So it's like, it's not nothing wrong with seeking help when you feel as though that you need to talk to somebody, or when you feel like you need some type of outreach to deal with the everyday struggles that you may be going through in life, And
I agree with you on that statement. I see where they were coming from, because, everybody always tries to walk around like, I'm okay and nothing's wrong. So I think that's what they're trying to say. It's okay to not be okay, but I can see how it can be misleading. Mm-hmm. And, it could still be like, you're not okay, but, still don't tell nobody. Don't go see a therapist that makes you look bad. But no. So, yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, a lot of us was taught growing up, like you got to be strong. You can't show no emotions. Emotions make you weak, and shedding tears make you vulnerable and all that stuff. That's not necessarily true. Like, I've learned, like, even though, a lot of people look at, you're soft or whatever the case may be, whatever. But when it comes down to it, sometimes, crying is a good release. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you have so much stuff pent up inside of you that just letting it out like that through tears is more helpful than it is harmful. And it's like a lot of people just got to get over the mystique of being emotional. Sometimes it's okay to release that emotional energy, because if you keep it pent up inside of you, it's not going to do any benefit for you.
Oh, absolutely. And I can relate to that, like, firsthand. As someone who's grown up with, somebody like, well, why are you crying? It wasn't that serious. Da, da, da. I'm like, well, I can't help it. I'm highly emotional and I'm very sensitive. Mm-hmm. So to cope with that, I started getting angry. So, whenever I felt like I'd be upset, or I wanted to cry, I'm throwing stuff instead. I'm like, no, it's no. And when I got older and I saw that really becoming a pattern, I'm angry because I can't express myself. I'm angry, but I'm honestly really hurt. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to have to cry. I'm just going to have to be upset, because it's not worth tarnishing my character, doing stuff out here and wilding. And that's not truly who I am. Like, that's not truly how I feel. Like, I'm reacting out of hurt. I'm coming from an emotional place. So I was like, yeah, if people want to be all like that and say, oh, you weak or you cry, screw you. I do for me, and what I do for people around me that I care about. Just doing crazy stuff, and there's alternatives. There's something I got to do. Like, you just got to. That's just part of being mature for me. Like, you got to do something to get a certain result. You just got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely, and it's crazy how me and you are so similar, even though we don't know each other personally. But that used to be a lot of my own issues too, growing up. And a lot of people, especially like my parents and stuff like that, the first thing they wanted to do was to get me some kind of attention for the fact that I was always walking around angry. I was always with these outbursts of anger and all that stuff like that. And it's just like what you just explained. A lot of it is because I don't know how to express or didn't know how to express the way I was feeling at that moment. So the only thing I knew was to react to certain situations out of anger. And that led to them wanting to get me medicated. That led to them wanting to, sometimes when my temper would get so bad, wanting to send me to places like, all boys schools or boys group homes and stuff like that. And it's just like, as you get older, you just learn how to mature. You learn how to better cope with the situations that you're dealing with. But it's like some people, they use that as an excuse to continue to do bad things. Where me, on the other hand, I looked at it and I'm like, how is this going to be conducive to my future moving forward when you got people that's telling you if you continue down this path, you're not going to live to be 21? And that's something I didn't want to, I ain't want to be one of those statistics coming from the community I came from, being one of those ones that didn't make it to be of age. So it was something within me that I felt like, I had to change. And that was one of the main things. And that's one of the things that people have to understand, that it's okay to change. You don't have to fit in to be with the in crowd or whatever the case may be. It's okay to be you. And it's okay to step away from certain situations when you feel as though it's not doing anything positive in your life,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the reason I resorted to being angry and stuff like that, and one, I couldn't really express myself in the way I wanted to because I was to feel like I was weak or whatever for being so emotional, and two, it just helped me display some dominance. Like I ain't no little bitch or whatever. Like I'm tough, and that was satisfying to the people around me. So I was they're like, yeah, you about that, you're not scared. And like, no, man, that's all that is whack. I hate when I see people out here just trying to be big guy and be tough and all. Like, no, be about your biz, but be for real at the same time. Like, you're not about that life for real. Like, and it's not even worth it. For what?
It's not.
So for what? Like, so it's like, yeah, I don't even speak to my biological mother. I've never met my biological father. So I think that may have just been, a part of why I don't know. I just was like, when I was just so angry, and I just had to really, do some I don't know what they call it, soul searching or something. And like you said, how do you want to see yourself in the future? Like, they was getting locked up out the ass. Like, I didn't want to see that for me. And when I started getting in trouble with the law and all that kind of stuff, like, that was a real eye opener. I remember the last time I did something, I was like, and this is sad as shit, I was like 12, and I was trying to steal a charger or something like that, and the manager saw me, so he on the fly called the police, and they put me in handcuffs. I broke down. Like, I turned into a straight bitch. After that, I was like, no, this life is not for me. And I remember that day, like, from top to bottom, it scarred me so bad. I remember them filling out the paperwork and all that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 12. Like, I didn't really do anything. And I'm just crying and crying. I was crying so much. A cop started feeling bad for me. They was like, it's okay. You don't got to be out here doing this. I was like, never again. Never again. That was a real eye opener for me.
Hey, that's dope.
And I'm like, this is not what I'm doing.
That's dope. And I'm glad that, you had that experience early enough in life to give you that feeling that you didn't want to continue down that path. Because it's like, I don't know, and it's kind of fucked up when you think about it, but to some people, especially, coming from the communities you and I both come from and stuff like that, and being around the type of environment that you and I both come from, you got people that is like, when you get locked up at an early age, it's like a badge of honor. It's like you earned a Cub Scout stripe or something, or some kind of patch to let people know that, yeah, you about that life, you can hold your own and this, that, and the third. And it's like people fail to realize the choices you make early on in life could eventually have some kind of effect on your future life. And you got so many people that I know that I've grown up with that got themselves so much in trouble to the point that their life is basically ruined. They can't go after the good jobs they want to. They can't get a decent line of credit like they want to. They can't do the things. People without a, I'm not going to say squeaky clean background, but don't have all these things on their records that prevent them from doing things in life. A lot of these people can't enjoy these luxuries. And it's like you got to make better decisions early on in the game before, it gets too late and then you can't go back and correct those mistakes,
Right, absolutely. I just heard a rapper say the other day, I think his name was Nav, that he went one direction and pursued his music. His friend went another and resorted to a life of crime, and he's traveling the world and stuff, and his friend can't even come because he got nowhere. Mm-hmm. So it's like you really got to think about the stuff you do, because ain't no felony coming off of nowhere. Like that's it. So it's like, yeah, you really got to be mindful of that. And I've been around people like that, like, yeah, my name is running through these streets and I'm going to beat you up and blah, blah, blah. And these folks are 11, 12. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like, you can go in the house and play with a Barbie or something. You not be out here talking all wild. Like, nah, what? Be a kid. Like, yeah. No. Like, and I think about all the time how I want to do when I was 13, 14. I wanted to be out there doing what the grown folks did. I'm like, I should have just been a kid. I mean, it benefited me in some ways because I feel like I'm a lot more mature than I would have been. But yeah, I was like, sometimes I wish I had just stuck to being a kid. I should have just enjoyed my childhood. Because once that's it. It's like childhood is short. Adulthood after that, that's the rest of your life. Exactly. You're not going back. So yeah, no, and enjoy your childhood years. Enjoy being a kid. They did not last forever.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I hope that any youth out there that is listening right now, I'm not going to call you a wayward youth. I'm not going to call you a delinquent or anything like that. I'm not even going to call you troubled, but I'm going to call you a youth that may be in a situation or maybe in an environment where you feel as though you got to do these things that you see going on TV or around you. Take heed to what was just being said, because when it boils down to it, like we just said, like a lot of things that you do now, will affect your future life. Take the time out right now to be a kid. And it's like, I understand that, a lot of people in certain communities don't have that luxury where they don't have the chance to live, a child's life, to enjoy their childhood and stuff like that. And that's a very unfortunate circumstance. But, those out there that have that choice to make, I hope that you can understand that it's so much better being an individual and standing out by yourself and doing your own thing than trying to fit in with the crowd and then ended up in that trap as everybody else had, or whatever the case may be, and you're not able to live your life to the fullest because of the certain mistakes and decisions that you made while you was a child. So I definitely agree with you on that one.
Right, absolutely. And I feel the same way. I was just about to touch on that. Everybody doesn't, hasn't means to just do whatever they want all the time. As a child, there may be situations that they can't control. They're a child. But it's best to work on this stuff now. It's best to, I guess, try to hone yourself now, because people are going to have a lot more. It's not always about what other people think, but people are going to have more sympathy, more understanding when you're young, when you're a child, because you're still trying to figure it out. You can't be 30, 40 years old still out here doing stuff. That's just telling people that's what you want to do. Like, that's who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, no, you need to work on yourself now, like, while you're still young, while you still can change things, while you're still, more receptive, because the older you get, it gets harder,
Mm-hmm.
You get set in your way and all that. That's just human nature. So, do these things now. I be telling my family, I'm like, let's try to, not use so much salt. Something small like that. I'll ask my dad, I'm like, bye, when you get to a certain age, can you stop drinking all these sodas? Not like that, of course. I'm like, are you able to, leave these sodas alone? Because now I want you to have a good quality of life, too. Like, I want you to make these things a habit.
That is true.
So, you just gotta work on that home. That goes for me too. Shoot.
Hey, me too. And I'm not I'm not judging nobody. I'm not pointing the finger or to be in the pot calling the kettle black, because there's a lot of things I need to work on as well. Yeah, but another thing is, us as older adults, with the generations that's coming up underneath of us, I think, it's best that we learn to start setting better examples for a lot of these kids. And I understand that a lot of kids, even if you set a real good example, and a lot of kids, come from good households where they have both of the parents living under the same roof, and they're awarded different luxuries that most children don't have. I know sometimes the kids do decide to go their own way, and sometimes that's not always in the way that they was taught or brought up and everything. I attribute that to a lot of peer pressure and wanting to fit in. But those out there, those adults that are living a foul life, that can be a better example to the kids in their community to show them that there's much more to life than just these streets or wanting to have a reputation or be known for being the baddest motherfucker on your block. Like, I think we can lead by a different example, even though it may seem far-fetched, but I haven't lost hope yet, you know?
Yeah, me neither, definitely. I definitely, wish honestly think for themselves and to do things that honestly make them happy. Not something that you saw online or, or whatever because this is the new trend or something. Is that truly what you want? That's what should matter the most. Your happiness should matter more than anything, because folks are going to do what they want. They're going to say whatever they're going to say, and you can do whatever you want. You can do all that they say is the thing to do, and you're still going to have something to say. You might as well do what you actually want and actually be happy. Everybody's going to have something to say about something. You're going to always get judged for something. You could be saving the world, and they'll judge the way you're doing it. You just got to be yourself, man. You just got to think for yourself. Everybody just so busy want to follow each other, and it's just nah, man. And I speak from experience too because I did that, but I knew deep in my heart that's not what I wanted to do. Everybody wanted to, my friends wanted to run the streets and go knock on their boyfriend window and all that stuff. I didn't want to do that, man. I wanted to be in the house reading a book. I wanted to watch TV. I'm a huge bookworm. I want, and that's what made me happy. So I said to say, do what makes you happy. That's what matters the most, not what you see on social media and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And you brought up a key point right there, thinking for yourself, because it's like we are in an era right now where it's like people are afraid to do that because they don't want to get called out as being different or called out for being a hater or whatever the case may be. And that's another stigma that we have to learn how to erase, that it's okay to think for yourself. You don't have to follow the group think mentality that a lot of people are, unfortunately cursed with,
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no doubt about that. I know we went on a little bit of a, soapbox moment and everything like that, but sometimes it's good to have those types of conversations, and hopefully, it will reach people out there that are listening. And I think it goes also hand in hand with, with your new song and everything like that when it comes to mental wellness. Everybody think that, mental wellness is just, a disorder or a sickness, but it's also just your mindset and the way you think of things and the way you perceive things too. So I think, everything that we just spoke on kind of, falls under that same category. What you think?
Absolutely. And that's the place, I was honestly coming from. That's my mentality, when I wrote that song. That's how I truly feel, and that's what I wanted to express. People are impatient nowadays. They're not going to sit and read or listen or, to certain stuff, but, the music, hopefully that'll stand out, and if it's catchy enough, if it's, it'll latch on, and you can go around singing something like that, not on the ground, and I'm guilty of that too, and I was like, no, that's not the message I want to put out there. I'm not about that life, I don't like seeing that, so I grew up in the hood, a couple times, but I wasn't in the streets, I wasn't doing that, so it's like that's not who I am. I felt like I had to do that because I was like, if I'm going to get any kind of audience or anything nowadays, it's like I gotta rap out what they want to hear. I'm like, no, I just gotta create my own lane, and and I just pray that my audience will come with that. Because at the end of the day, I need to put out something that comes from the heart. I leave a little piece of me in every song that I write, and I want people to feel that. I want them to, feel that genuity. That not all these artists aren't, shallow and whatever, think they the ish because they got all this money or whatever. Like, no, I'm human just like you. We just happen to choose two different career paths.
I agree wholeheartedly. And let me ask you, with that being said, now, do you feel like there's a new purpose to your music? Given that the way you started and where your trajectory is taking you right now and where you are right now in your music career, do you feel as though that your music is starting to serve a different purpose?
Absolutely. And I feel like, I'm growing, quote unquote, growing with my music, just trying to, I don't know, I guess just trying to be, that's my biggest thing, overall, is to be positive, to spread love, and to, to spread peace. Because at the end of the day, I feel like we need that. And yeah, that's just my biggest thing. I'm a huge fan of Logic. He's one of my favorite rappers, and one of the things that he always promotes is peace, love, and positivity. So I just adapted that, and that's what I want to do. I want people to come listen to my music or whatever when they want to feel uplifted, when they want to feel positive, when they want to be inspired, or, when they're going through something and they hear and they're like, yeah, this is normal. It's okay. I'm human, and, it's all right. Just be comfortable in who you are, and be happy with that.
No doubt. Now, let me ask you something, a little hip-hop moment here, and I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot of the static, a lot of the chatter going on right now with a lot of these different hip-hop blogs and platforms and stuff like that. How do you feel about the whole prospect, being that you just mentioned that, Logic is one of your favorite rappers? How do you feel about this whole dynamic, Joe Buttons versus Logic right now?
He said, man, Joe Biden can go... Remember all the at symbols, pound signs, question marks, exclamation marks. He better stop talking about my homie Logic because he doesn't bother nobody. And he's just living life and is just doing him. Like, leave that man alone. And I had to, push down my little ignorance a little bit and stuff. I was like, Brian, don't I care about no pump it up? Leave me alone. Logic was actually talking about some real shit. Yeah, I got a little in my feelings with that because I really do fuck with Logic. Like, he's from my area. He's from Maryland. And, and the kind of shit, he inspired me a lot to, try to be more positive because he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid to break the cycle and talk about something different. So, and that was really inspiring. So, yeah, leave Logic alone. He ain't had to be right. These folks got to be all in the mix, got to be in front of people's faces to continue to, have fans and to generate revenue. No, Logic sold out the garden by himself and he wasn't getting major radio playlists and all that kind of stuff. And no, he was just genuine. He just connected with his fans, and his fans felt that, and they showed up and they were there. Like, he didn't have to do all that extra stuff. All he did was be himself. And that's very, very inspiring. Like, that really is. He always be on his songs talking about some, yeah, like, you got to be confident, I'm the ish and all that kind of stuff. But he was like, for real, I don't have no problems with you. Beef for what? He was like, a lot of people who don't even like me ain't never even met me before. So it's like, yeah, no, I like that because it's like, it seemed like everybody in hip hop beefing. Everybody diss track this, diss track that. Like, so that was really nice to hear. That was a nice difference, to hear, because I don't hear that a lot. I don't. And a lot of people are afraid to break the cycle because they're so far in that, what content they're putting out there, what message they're putting out there, that it'll be kind of hard to shift so dramatically. So they kind of just stick to what people want to hear, even if it's some fucked up shit. And I'm not rocking with that, And I know he just went all into it, but shit, Joe Budden, he always got something to say. When I saw that, I was like, man, go sit the fuck down, man. You always talking. You always saying something about something. Like, go fucking make a sandwich. Like, leave that man alone.
Now, I'm not going to front, like, I do like Joe Budden, because I grew up, well, not necessarily grew up. At that time when Joe Budden came out, I had already graduated high school and all that stuff. So, like, when he was doing these things in the early 2000 part or whatever, he was regarded as one of the, the top tier, lyricists of that particular era and stuff like that. So, I do respect him as an artist when it comes down to it and everything like that, because he's on a whole other level that at the time when I was listening to him, I was inspiring to get to that particular level. But it's like, as he became a personality and as he, started doing this thing with his platform and his podcast and everything like that, and I'm not taking no credit from him, but it's like, I didn't understand pretty much that whole dynamic neither, because I don't really watch the Joe Budden podcast. I listen to it from time to time. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean, cut you off. I was about to say, yeah, I don't watch it either. I just saw it on Instagram, and I see the clips on Instagram here and there, and it's always something like nuts. And and at first, not at first, because I still do. Like, I do respect his artistry. I do respect, what he's put in the game, and and stuff like that. He earned it. Mm-hmm. And I respect that. But as a person and all that kind of stuff, like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm just not. Nah. It's not cool. And not for views, not for none of that. You just, no, man. Because you just putting that kind of stuff out there. You just telling people that kind of stuff is okay because that gets that gets a lot of attention, a lot of positivity and all that kind of stuff. No. No, it's just no.
Nah, I definitely respect that. And I was just going to say, I think when it comes down to it, I think that was just marketing when it really boils down to it, because I think he knows that Logic has a very passionate fan base when it comes to, you know, his music and what he represents as not only a hip hop artist, but also as an individual as well. And I think that, you know, he wanted to stir the pot a little bit just to get, you know, people talking a little bit or whatever. You know, that's one of the things I'm learning about media when it comes to, like, you know, stirring up a little bit of controversy to get people talking. And it's like, I kind of understand now why when you be looking at some of these blogs and some of these platforms where you have people saying some of the most outlandish dumb shit that you can think of, that is like, you can't, there's no way in the hell possible that that is true. And it just boils down to it that I think a lot of people just do that just for attention and just, you know, to stir up controversy to get people talking about them. What you think?
Yeah, and I guess I got to remember that too, that people do say things to, like you said, to stir the pot, to, you know, to cause some controversy. Some stuff just be off the wall, but I'm like, wow. But at the end of the day, I guess, you know, I guess I respect it. You know, you got stuff you got to do. You got to take care of yourself. So sipping and saying, you know, crazy stuff here and there, I don't think that's a big deal. But it's just like, this man was like, I can name 2,000 rappers that's better than Logic. I was like, wow, man.
Nah, I don't know about 2,000. That's reaching a little bit right there. That's a Dalzim reach right there, you know?
Me too. Like, no, like, this man, like, he is nice. Like, right. I don't know about all that.
Like, I'm going to be honest, in full transparency, I'm not the biggest Logic fan. You know, I've listened to some of his music, or whatever the case may be, but I'm not, you know, really into a lot of the music that I hear out here nowadays. I'm more so in this lane. I like listening to the up and coming people because I feel like they're more hungry. But I can honestly give respect where respect is due. When I listen to Logic is a lot better than a lot of the people that you're hearing blasting right now on mainstream radio. So I don't want to take no credit away from the man, because he is definitely doing his thing, and he's really earned the right to be able to be in the conversation when it comes to, you know, the best hip hop artists out there, you know, respectively and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, for Joe Budden to say, you know, I can name 2,000 other rappers. Come on, bro, you reaching. That's a Dalzim reach right there, because I don't even think you know 2,000 rappers you can name right off the top of your head. So, like, stop it, Fry. Like, for real.
Right, like that just was just like, that wasn't even contra, that just was like hating to me. I'm like, bruh, come on now, you know you don't mean that. Like, chill.
Absolutely. But, you know, it makes for good, it makes for good conversations. You know, I like that, you know, there's people out there that aren't afraid to say what they feel as long as they can stand on it. But then you got people that just make some, like I said earlier, just some outrageously dumb shit that they be saying. Like, take for example, and I'm not trying to call her out, but, you know, the thing that Glorilla, she came out with recently on these podcasts, talking about she wears dark panties because sometimes the dookie stains, you know, it's easier to hide them or whatever crazy shit she said. I'm like, that's something you kind of keep personal. That's something like, nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to hear that shit, no pun intended. You know?
Yeah, that definitely, she know how to stir pies out, because that threw me for a loop too. I'm like, yeah, she's just saying that to get some attention going, because that's wild. I think she said the other day she likes when her man, what is it? I guess, what do you say? Finish, you know, over her food, and then she eats it.
I was just about to say that. Like, I'm like, yo.
I was like, but she heard it came out, was like, I guess it went too far. She's like, I was just playing. I'm like, I hope so.
Now, to be honest, I kind of believe her on that one. Like she didn't expect that kind of backlash. She probably thought that the females that really, you know, rock with her was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing that too. Have my man doing that. And they was probably like, hell no. And she didn't expect that kind of backlash. That's probably why she tried to, you know, backtrack on her stance and everything like that.
She backtracked real quick, so I figured it was kind of bad.
Oh man, that's crazy. So, you know, with 2023, you know, drumming up here, you know, we starting to hit into the summer months. You know, we already mentioned earlier that you have done, you know, quite a few showcases since the last time you've been on the show. You've done put out, you know, a couple of freestyles. You got your new single, Throw It All Away, that's out there, you know, bubbling right now and definitely building up, you know, some momentum going into the summer months. What else are we looking forward to hearing from you? Like, what do you have rolled up your sleeves that we can be looking forward to going into the rest of this year?
Oh, yes. So I'm working on my project. I plan to drop it later on this year. So I'm really excited about that. And I've just been, I've got a lot of things lined up. I'm trying to do more traveling, more performing, and I'm actually shooting the music video for Throw It All Away at the end of this month, so that's going to be dope. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And just sticking to the grind and sticking to trying to get more exposure, trying to get out there.
Mm-hmm. Now I gotta ask you, because one of the videos that I seen that you had on Instagram, just a few weeks ago, the one with the the wagon, the dog chasing the wagon and everything like that. Like, what inspired that one? That was one of my favorites that I seen as of late that you just put out there, and I actually even downloaded it and saved it to my phone. So like, what made you come up with that creative idea to use that as a visual and also the meaning behind the music?
Oh, I'm glad you messed with like that, though. Thank you. I actually did get a lot of positivity from that. I realized a lot of the people I'm connected with on Instagram like dogs, so they was like, "Oh, look at the dog," and it was like, that was so creative. But that actually was my manager's idea. Okay. My dad was what was he playing with, his drone or one of them flying things or something, and he started playing with the the RC car, and I have 3 other dogs, but that dog in particular. Big, he was the only one that was engaged with it. So my dad was just rolling around the yard. He was just chasing it, and we watching it back and laughing at it. And I had just recorded the freestyle, and we were like, okay, what kind of video can we do, to make it, to present it well. And at that particular moment, we were looking at the video, and I was like, and my manager was like, she was like, why don't you put the song over the video? And we did that, and it turned out great. And we posted it, and we was like, all right, well, let's see how this turned out, because it was something different. I hadn't really done like that. Generally, I go, get a couple shots of, me rapping and stuff, and put it together and stuff like that. But this one, was very unique for me. We didn't really, do stuff like that. And it was definitely met with a huge positive response. So we was like, okay, how can we, not do the same thing, but how can we capitalize off of that? And so it was dope. It was a really great response to that.
Absolutely. And I'm like, when you told me like, if you like dogs, you're gonna like this one, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this one out too. And I'm like, dog running around, I'm like, oh man, like I really miss having my own dog and stuff like that. Just the playful nature of dogs and stuff like that. They're truly man's best friend. And just that, and with this song that went behind it and everything like that, it made it one of those really dope songs that just going into like the warmer months, it's something that I can hear a lot of people really checking out and listening to, and really taking hold to it. The message in it, the creativity and the visualization of it is just one of those ones that I feel as though is really going to start propelling you up to a whole different level.
Right, absolutely. I guess in a way with that video, for me, it was like, I was the dog, and I'm like, trying to get to where I want to be in my career. I was kind of like chasing it, and you could see how it sometimes gets out of reach. Sometimes, things fall backwards. So, I got a little sentimental with that, and I just thought it brought the whole message together for me. So, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So we talking album anytime soon? Like you got plans to put together an album, or you going to release an EP? Like what you got going on as far as that is concerned?
I really want to drop a mixtape. So I'm gonna. That's what I'm definitely aiming to do later on this year. An album? I'll be honest. I honestly haven't thought about that. I guess I kind of just wanted to. I've been kind of in this experimenting stage where I kind of just wanted to see, where I wanted to go with my music, or what what was going to be, quote unquote, my thing, I guess. But definitely now that I'm starting to, find that lane to be solidified and, comfortable with that and happy with that, that's definitely in the near future. Definitely, not too far away. Maybe next year, you never know.
I definitely say, take your time with it. Don't let nobody make you feel rushed. I feel like the best music and the best art that comes from a lot of artists is those that say that they wasn't rushed or made to feel like they was being rushed through whatever it was, just allowing their creativity to come to them. We live in an era right now where you have so many artists, you have so many people. It's like they're trying to compete with how many songs they can put out in a day or whatever the case may be. And then the next thing you know, they put out like 10 songs, all of them going to be forgotten by next week and everything like that. So definitely take your time. A lot of people fail to realize that, it's still quality over quantity when it comes to music.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I used to be so hard on myself with, how long it would take me to write my music and stuff like that. And some things I could write in an hour. Some things would take me a week. Some things would take me a couple weeks. And then I would go online and I would see it, be like, oh, I can smash 10 songs in 4 hours. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't know how. But then, like you were just saying, as I, really thought about that and, compared, I was like, yeah, but really, you have quantity, but where is the quality? There's really no quality in that music. You just rushing through it together to, have as much music as possible. And like you said, they're going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Like, you really want to make something that's going to stick, that's going to connect emotionally. So, that's just how I see it anyway.
I agree with you. And it's like, to me, like when it comes down to it, even when I was actively pursuing a career as an artist myself, it was, to me, the ultimate goal was longevity. Like, I wanted my songs to sound just as good 10 years later as it did the day when I first released it and everything like that. And I wanted it to be something that's going to stick with people. I don't have a whole lot of songs in my own catalog whatsoever, but I was more focused on making sure I produce good quality and not just throwing something out just for the sake of throwing something out just to keep up with, whoever I perceive to be competition.
Right, absolutely. And that's why, it's cool to, have like freestyles and stuff. And that way, while you're working on something, you're still putting out content. You're not just, it's not just radio silence. You still are, you're still maintaining a presence. So, absolutely, I definitely feel you on that. And that's how I feel about Throw It All Away. I feel like, 10 years from now, it can still be a positive, still be a good song. So, absolutely, that definitely is the goal.
Absolutely. Well, here's definitely to longevity. We want to say thank you once again, Layna, for taking the time out while you out on your West Coast trip to call in here and rock out with us. We do appreciate it. And we always like to ask you, before we get up out of here, for the people that would like to reach out with you and connect with you, those who would like to hear more of your music and would like to bring you onto their own platform, how can they make that possible?
Oh, absolutely. So you can connect with me on all social media at The Real Layna Lay. That is TheRealLaynalae. I'm most active on Instagram, but you can connect with me anywhere. But on Instagram, that's really where you can go and like see what I'm doing currently, and just keep up with me and be updated and stuff. Throw It All Away, my latest single, was just released March 11th. That is out now on all streaming platforms. Wherever you like to listen to music, you can go search Layna Lay, Laynalae, Throw It All Away. And, wherever you like to listen to music. The music video for Throw It All Away is coming soon. I'm shooting that in the next couple weeks, so I'm very excited about that. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And, the lyric video for Throw It All Away is out now as well. So you can also go check that out. And just much love supporting, and I really appreciate to check me out. Much love to you, EMillio. I really, really appreciate you. You've been so supportive, and that really means a lot to me. And just
No doubt. And I appreciate you, and much love to you as well. And one more thing I forgot to mention, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that to you because I just wanted to see what your reaction was going to be. But your song Copycat and everything, right?
Right.
All right. Now, you remember that it was nominated for the top 10, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, congratulations. You made it to song number 9 on the top 10 of the week.
Hey, I'm glad to be on the list too. Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. And it's dope. Like I said, like the top 10 was something I wanted to give the viewers and listeners and those that support the music heavy the opportunity to vote for their favorite songs or whatever. So you made it onto the list, and I want to say thank you to everybody out there once again who took the time out to listen to all the music that we had nominated. And out of 20 songs, for you to make it to number 9, I know it may not seem like much right now, but it definitely means a lot to me to be seeing that a lot of people rocking with it.
You better stop that. That means a lot to me. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know I kept Layna a little bit longer than what I intended to, but sometimes when conversations are just that good, it just happens that way. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, folks. It's your boy EMillio EgBar, and we're about to get into the brand new single from Layna Lay called Throw It All Away. Keep it locked right here to the show, folks. We'll be back with much more right after this.
Waist up, take a breath, know it's hard. Take my hand, just hold on, it's not far away. In the moment, strong's not there. Searching, all you find is fear. Only you that stands in your way. Man, I'm so tired, I'm so damn tired. Just take me higher, always a fighter. It's overwhelming, but that doesn't matter. It's dim and getting lower. I need someone to come and light my fire. The only thing I own and don't want is this pain and fear. One day is here, tomorrow I'll just throw it all away. You gotta want it, baby, know that it just won't appear. Don't be so hard on yourself, just throw it all away. There's no shortcut that's been proven. Then what am I really doing? Say I got it, I don't, man, who am I fooling? I don't really like the morning, blessed to see it. Though no joking, feeling like I'm chosen, I'm just working through it. Man, I'm so tired, I'm so damn tired.